morning, everyone. This is TV Shores. I know it's been a while since you've heard from me that I put anything out, but I was seeking the Lord on a dream I had on December the 4th. I've been seeking Him for confirmation as to whether He wanted this up or not. I will say, let me flip over here right quick. Redeemed 44 YouTube channel put out a video a week ago, which I had not seen until yesterday. I believe that his dream was confirmation to what I was seeking confirmation on within the dream that I had. So that prompted me to go ahead and put this up, and I've been asking the Lord how He wanted me to go about this. I don't think He wants me to go into great detail. Those who have eyes to see and ears to hear will understand what's within this. I will elaborate on a general understanding, but the deeper understandings, just seek the Lord on. I'm sure that He will help you to see what's within. But the basic general things I'm going to hit on, I think, are the main things I were to get across with this video. So I'm just going to jump into that here in just a minute. I did want to point out this is entitled Christmas Rapture Timing. In all my studies and my seeking the Lord, many of you know, if you've watched my channel for very long, that I strongly feel that the Lord has shown me that His end time plan is much bigger than a rapture. This is about a process of things. If you read the Bible, you understand that God does things in a process. It's not like bam and it's done. He has a pattern and a way that He does things. So it's about, I use the word catching away, different catching aways for those who come into spiritual maturity with Him. Not everyone is in the same place spiritually. So that's what that boils down to, is about where we are in our hearts, in our relationship with Him. So I just wanted to make sure that I explain that, because I feel God's plan is far bigger than just a rapture. Not saying anything against those who don't get that. It's just that we're all in different places spiritually. So right now I'm going to get to this dream. Understand that in my dreams, the Lord lets me know that when I have a dream about my husband, if my husband represents Jesus the Lord, because Jesus is our husband, okay? That's always the understanding that I receive. If he represents something different, it's always clear to me. So in this dream, my husband represents the Lord. And if I seem like I'm talking fast, I'm just trying to beat the time on this video. I don't want it to take forever to load. So I'm just going to get into it, okay? This dream began with me at some friend's house. They had made some changes inside. I recall we were in a room where they had a mirror that covered most of the wall. A sofa sat against this wall with the mirror. There was also a mattress that lay on the floor and was made up like you make a bed. It seemed we were in this room discussing things of the Lord. Then I noticed they had left the room. They had left me in there all by myself. I'm just going to stop right there for a second and explain that I'm not going to get into all these things, but I did want to explain this part about this bed sitting on the floor. The bed represents the intimate place that we have with the Lord. And this bed was made up to look as a normal bed, but it was missing its foundation, its base. So this is speaking to the lukewarm, those in the church that present as having a relationship, a proper relationship with the Lord, an intimate relationship with the Lord, but in reality, they don't have that foundation that they need to have that relationship with God. It's about not having that that base and that foundation to build upon in that relationship, and we have to seek the Lord to get that. And you'll understand here in just a minute why that is, okay? Then I noticed they had left the room. I saw a dress that belonged to the lady of the house. I picked it up. Oddly, it was only half a dress, the front half, and it had a fake pregnancy belly in it. Okay, this dress is about the church. It speaks again to the state of the church. Those who are expecting to be a part of what God is about to bring forth, but yet the relationship is not what it should be. That's why it's a fake expectancy, okay? And this dress being half front, it means they're not fully clothed in the Lord. The relationship with Him is lacking, okay? Let's see. It says, then, since they had left me in there alone, I decided to head home. I walked into the living room, and the man of the house said, we were just having a break. We were coming back. And again, that speaks to many in the church, how they look at the relationship or their time with the Lord as very casual. They don't take it serious. They do what they want to do rather than being diligent with the Lord. And that's what this is speaking about. And it goes back to what we were saying about the bed, them not having that relationship, that base and that foundation they need to have that true intimate relationship with the Lord. Okay, let's see. I walked in. He said they were coming back. Let me get back to where I was at. I'm so sorry. I then told him that I was headed home. We stepped outside, and we could see that my husband was doing work on the house. Okay, this is about my husband, which represents the Lord, working on my spiritual house. Okay, and this is about the lukewarm within the church being able to see what God is about to do with those who are ready. Okay, we could see that my husband was doing work on the house. Okay, then the scene changed and I was home. There I discovered he had redone the whole inside of my house. The basement had been cleaned out and was completely empty of all furnishings and junk, perfectly clean with white walls. The staircase was even gone, and I recall asking him about the staircase being gone, but do not recall what I asked or his reply. The next scene, we were on the main floor of my house. Everything looked beautifully new. The floors had new carpet, the walls were all redone, and all furnishings had been replaced with beautiful new items. I recall everything had a golden tone or hue to it. The carpet, wall, and all furnishings had a golden glow. This is important, okay? All this was my husband's Christmas present to me. When I asked him where he got the money, well, let me speak to this just a minute. This where everything was new and had a golden glow. This is about the infilling and God's glory, filling up those who are ready. This, our bodies is a temple to the Lord. And he also gave me some scripture that ties in with this really good, and I'll share that with you at the end. But this is about him beginning what he's going to do in these end times, beginning with those that are ready, and how he is going to glorify them from within, about an infilling that's coming from him, and about what he's going to do within us, and the change that's going to come, and the time frame. I believe the Lord is speaking to a time frame here. Of course, there's always possibility for having misunderstood. But this is why I thought it was important to get this out. Because if the Lord is speaking of a time frame here, it is something that everyone needs to be aware of. Those who have eyes to see and ears to hear will understand what this dream is speaking to. And just always be sure and seek the Lord, okay? Because we're all human and we're apt to maybe misunderstand, not intentionally misrepresent anything, but we are apt to make mistakes. Um, so I just wanted to throw that in. But this says, all this was my husband's Christmas present to me. Him redoing my house, him making me new within, okay? Um, when I woke from this dream and realized what that was representing, I was just overcome. It was amazing. Anyway, it goes on to say, when I asked where he had gotten the money to pay for it all, he showed me an account with my name on it. He had used this account to redo everything in my house for my Christmas gift. This is about the gifting and the change that the Lord is going to bring upon those who are ready. Okay, I don't I'm just going to throw this in there. In the dream, it was very clear to me that this account was something I had not been aware of. So this is something that a new blessing that the Lord is going to give us. And this account is something that the Lord has been putting toward um, this time for us, okay? For each of us, an account for us. And that's what allows him to be able to make this change within us. I want to speak a little bit now. Right here it says, after waking, I was going to write this in my notebook, and I keep my notebook and Bible together all the time. I noticed there were two bookmarkers sticking out the bottom of my Bible. Okay, these two bookmarkers, that's something I don't do. I don't stick markers out the bottom of my Bible. So that struck me as very unusual. So I just want to share with you right now. I felt prompted to open the word to where these markers were sticking out because I don't leave markers sticking out of my Bible. I was just going to lay it aside, but then I was prompted to pick it up. And I just want to share with you what was there. And it goes right with what this dream was about. So if you will, we're going to start with 2nd Chronicles chapter 5. If you note, the subtitle under chapter 5 says, The Ark Brought In, the Glory Fills the House. This is about the glorious infilling that those who are ready are going to receive. Okay, this dream. And I'm just going to read some of this to you, if you just bear with me a minute here. It says, Thus, all of the house that Solomon made for the house of the Lord was finished. And see, the Lord had finished my house, finished redoing the inside of my house. And Solomon brought in all the things that David, his father, had dedicated, and the silver and the gold and all the instruments. And I think that speaks to all the furnishings that had a gold glow about it. If you want to also look, just read the chapter. It's very interesting and how it pertains to the infilling. Okay, you got to look at it from a spiritual perspective, but I know those of you who have eyes to see and ears to hear will get what's happening here. But what struck me was the Lord had took me to this. The glory fills the house. And it's about the glory that's fixing to fill the house, the spiritual house of those that love him. Next marker took me to 1 Kings chapter 8, which we see a subtitle again that says, The ark brought in, the Shekinah glory fills the house. So we see this is all about God bringing that infilling, that glorious infilling, okay? This right here really stood out to me when I opened this up. It says, For the glory of the Lord had filled the house of the Lord. And I believe that the Lord is showing us this is about to take place, that it is time. That's what I think this dream was about. And him taking me to the scripture just added to it. I mean, it was just amazing for me. But I pray that you'll take this to the Lord. I love you. Bye bye.